Welcome to the Looking Glass. My name is Mary Moses and I am an oracle. Today we're going to learn about the Princess Code. This is a Luciferian archon mind control over female energies, particularly. We're going to learn about your true twin flame, what really happened to us, how to reconnect to truth and the Holy Spirit, and also we're going to learn about hybrids and how the archons have affected and infected us. We're going to learn about the divine number 14, the god Atum, and of course we're going to talk about this androgynous energy and our original form as being both Adam and Eve. Although this is an individual message for Candy, this is a collective message for those of us who are under mind control in a matrix system that has left us feeling quite alone. If you feel you want to reconnect to a divine voice and your divine other self, this is the place for you. Candy's feet are at 6 o'clock. And her legs go up into her genital area, and this area is blocked or in front of a wall. In front of the wall is a hybrid egg with a dragon coming out of it. There is a phoenix, and then there's a young girl at 7 o'clock signing contracts in this matrix system, looking at a star and the word Oz and a triangle with the letter S on it, and the triangle is going down. Above the wall is the letter M on Candy's dress. There is a beautiful star. Candy has two hands, one hand in one world, the other hand in another world over the wall. Her hands are quite powerful. Above the hand is a beautiful star, and there's a lot of star energy. This is Sirius star system that is really coming and giving us truth at this time to the divine feminine. Above her head is a beautiful golden crown, and above the crown is an alien that looks like an archon, and above this alien is the holy dove. On the right side of her is an egg, another egg, and then her best friend who passed away is there holding an Irish coin, kind of depicting that she is in Ireland, maybe, I'm not sure. At 11 o'clock, there's a mother, a holy mother, kissing a baby. And it's someone who died, and their hand is the hand of Atum as well. It may be a male, but it looks female to me. The numerology associated with this piece is 1111 and the number 14 and the number 13. There's also 9933, which also equals the number 24. Candy has the word Lane, like Lois Lane, and this is a reflection that her true mother and father are not in this current reality. Let's talk about the story of Osiris when it comes to the two hands and two worlds and being torn in two. Osiris is Oz, Iris, the land of Oz, Kansas and Oz. Iris is the goddess of the rainbow. Osiris's body was cut 14 times, 7 for her, 7 for him. One world dominated by female energy and the other dominated by male energy. One world cannot see the other world. In tarot, the number 14 is temperance, and it is also the number of the rainbow. Now notice that the rainbow has 7 colors. If you put an upside down rainbow with a right side up rainbow, it makes a full circle. So we only see half the rainbow. We only see half the truth. The number 14 is about our original nature, which is androgynous, both male and female. The original form was both Adam and Eve. The number 14 represents the Holy Spirit being a divine voice that speaks to us all, regardless of religion, regardless of any belief. This spirit is always there, and it can tap into our heart chakra, and we can hear it if we open our heart. It does not connect to the mind as much. So when people are dominated by mind control and ego and logic and, let me see if this is in written history, they're not going to see the voice of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit comes from the heart only, which is the original brain. And your heart emits an electromagnetic energy, and so does the sun. So the Holy Spirit is connected to the energy of the sun. You cannot get to the Father except through the Son, and the Son is connected to the Holy Spirit. There were 14 generations of Abraham to David. There were 14 epistles. The number 14 is about good and charity. There's only positive numbers when it comes to the number 14, but I will tell you the dark side to the number 14 and how these Luciferians have manipulated the number 14 to try to dominate a beautiful soul. So Jesus and Mary Magdalene were as one. We know this because Jesus' mother self-impregnated. This made Jesus also an androgynous one. The androgynous ones had both male and female genitalia. They come from the moon, and they self-impregnated. So they did not copulate with human beings. They self-impregnated. The 14 stations of the way of the Christ. The sufferings of Christ would have begun 14 days before the Passover. A woman was always arranged to be married at the age of 14. And this arrangement has a dark side to it that we're going to talk about. Remember that Jesus had 7 wounds, and so the 7 wounds of Christ are connected to the half of the number 14. The Virgin Mary was 14 years old at the time of Annunciation. The Catholic Church brings together 14 saints because they know the magic of the number 14. It is earth magic. So when it comes to you using your power, when you go through that eye of the needle and Spirit begins to teach you, you're going to learn about numerology and symbology in the voice of Spirit. But you really have to go through an awakening first before you begin using your power. And I'll explain that to you in a minute. So if you look at your piece, you have this big number 5 on your ear, and this is the number 14. 4 plus 1 is 5. You are very much a number 14 energy. The astral body of woman or man is totally developed and installed at the age of 14 years old. This is significant. Those who want to control people often ensnare them at the age of 14. 14 is usually the age of puberty. 14 is ascending the downward days of the moon. The fingers of the 2 hands are composed of 14 phalanxes. I don't know what that means, but this is about your hands. It's the number 14 in both of your hands that are being showcased having magical power. The dark side of the number 14 is that there are some people in high places that knows that our soul permeates at the age 14. And so Elvis Presley had this lust for 14-year-old girls. Priscilla Presley was 14 years old when he married her, and he would often purchase 14-year-old prostitutes and young girls. And there are many young children, both male and female, who are raped by people in high places at the age of 14 because I don't know what it does. It does something on the spirit realm. And it's a war against God and your natural process, because if you are raped, then you are always resentful at God for not saving you. And then you hate yourself, you hate God. And although you may worship outside of yourself, you never grow the true God within you because of bitterness and shame and ignorance and being under narcissistic control. So the dark side gets pretty dark if you really dig deep into it. But the truth is that we were cut in half. So we were both male and female. So the Father sacrificed the Son representing male and the female being the moon. Actually, it's the earth is the female, the sun is the male, and the moon is the androgynous ones, both male and female. Eventually, we will learn about the Trinity, connecting with 3 parts to ourselves. But for now, Spirit is wanting you to understand the number 14 and the number 7 being split in half, and how your original form was both male and female, and how we have been manipulated into a matrix system called the Princess Code to make hybrid children, which is why you have the eggs and these strange dragons coming out of the eggs. You have 3 saints on the front of your dress that looks like the letter M. And then you have 3 eggs. And so and then you have the word vac. And this is possibly, if this didn't happen to you, this is about just awakening to the truth of a program that that we need to understand, so that we do not divert our attention in the matrix or the mind control, and we leave the energy of the moon and we go to the energy of the sun, and we begin to hear the voice of the Holy Spirit, not the energy of the archon that wants to take our divinity, our crown, and our power, really. So once we reconnect with our other half, and once we awaken to truth, we are no longer polarized by falseness. So the number 12 is significant because it reflects androgynous nature. The androgynous ones had 6 fingers and 6 toes. This is the number 12. Also, it is about Jesus was 12 when he left the temple in the body and in the Bible, and he actually left the Bible at 12 years old. Your temple reflects your body. Your holy temple is your body, not outside of yourself. So the allegory of Christ leaving the temple is leaving this matrix, leaving the world, in order to go to an in-between place of learning. When Harry Potter was 12, he went to Hogwarts. So going to the eye of the needle, the Vesica Piscis, looks like a fish, and it looks like a teardrop and a flame. And this teardrop and flame speaks of what our soul looks like and how we connect 2 parts to our soul. One upside down Vesica Piscis looks like a teardrop, and the right side up looks like a flame. Those 2 must come together, flesh and spirit, for our 2 parts to merge and become powerful again. It also looks like a helium balloon because apparently our soul is made of helium. That's why we float up. It's actually called H3. And so the Vesica Piscis is one of the most important symbols of all times, that is a reflection of our soul being cut and how to reconnect the duality of it and the Trinity eventually. So notice how your body makes a cross, and this is where you are. You are on the cross. This means you're taking on the sins of the world, and you don't know that you are taking on other people's negative energy. And you have to forgive and resurrect off the cross, and in order to transmute and not allow someone else's negative energy to get on you. Because as we ascend through this crown chakra, the corona means crown, and there is a spiritual virus connected to this corona crown, and that is picking up other people's bad vibes and energy. Atum was a self-created god from Nu, and Nu is the chalice that's next to you. The word Atum means complete. Complete. Male, female, spirit. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Mother, Daughter, Holy Spirit. Atum was both male and female, and the hand of Atum was personified as a goddess. She was equated with Hathor and Nebuchadnezzar. I've never really heard of Nebuchadnezzar. I need to look into her. And this divine female energy is awakening many of us into the truth of the world that we are currently living in, so that we come out of the Princess Code. The Princess Code is a collective planetary archetype filter that was inserted technologically by the NAA into human consciousness to purposely distort the female principle and female gender roles. As a result, this archetype can also be referred to as stemming from the dark female or dark mother, which are also known as Baphomet forces that are, and make sure that we really look into these Baphomet forces. I'll look into it for you as well. That are manipulated by the satanic and Luciferian spirits. These are imposter spirits. They're not real. In their ritual alchemy to impose their timelines and future probabilities upon the current Earth consciousness. When the NAA invaded the planet during the Atlantean cycle, the consciousness program installed in the planetary Logos was designed to enslave the inhabitants of the planet based in Orion patriarchal domination through a strategy of shaping mind control through archontic deception behavior. This began the planet's dark age of misogyny. The Orion group was aware that to manifest creation, they require both male and female counterparts to merge with each other. Just as the reversal electrons were manipulating the male principle, the protons were removed to descend the female principle energies into the underworld dimensions to keep the false female energy trapped in the lower world. This is where you are. You are behind the wall, and you are in this lower, I don't mean to say lower world, but you're just below the wall, and you have the ability to go above the wall, the lower dimensions. The Princess Code hologram was installed to be used by the NAA forces as the counterpart to the false king of tyranny. The false king of tyranny archetype mates with the Princess Code archetype to maintain the control through the power elite, and the belief systems are promoted by them. So many of our belief systems by these religions, worshiping outside of ourselves and being obedient to a narcissistic control is the program. We are programmed to be codependents. Throughout media, society, and as an inherent part of grooming both boys and girls to adopt this abusive behavior and belief systems as adults. This dysfunction further promotes the sexual misery program and the Moloch-related soul abuse, and so that children will not grow into well-balanced adults capable of creating truly loving, healthy, and spiritual marriages. No, they design it so that we mate with our false other half, where we are emotionally out of balance, addicted to drugs, addicted to alcohol, addicted to self-importance, addicted to working. Our children are not taken care of. And this program that we are in is absolutely not in our favor. So this young girl at 7 o'clock has all the hope in the world, and yet she's signing contract after contract after contract. Oh, you have to sign this contract to get a driver's license. Oh, sign this to get a birth certificate. Oh, sign this to get insurance. Oh, sign this church membership. Oh, sign your marriage contract. And it's sign these contracts. And it keeps us in a lower dimension. And our soul, it's like a baby that can't grow, and that's not natural. It's not natural that we don't grow. We should grow. We should become powerful. We should become knowledgeable. We should be the great mother and father of this world and teach people to master energy and master truth and master life in order to bring us together, not separated and apart. And all of these marriages that don't last, I don't want this reading to be all negative, because what I'm seeing is that I think that you are here for a female, and I think you don't want to leave certain energies, but you're just being told that the eye of the needle is a place of being like in a cocoon. When the worm goes in the cocoon, it doesn't want to be disturbed. We don't go and connect with people and help people and meditate on other people or on the world or on media or on anything. To become nothing, the archons cannot bother you or see you in this place. So we basically become silent. We learn and learn and learn, and we teach and we become powerful. But when we are ready to step into that number 14, after we have left at the age 12, then we will go back to that world and raise the dead, walk on water, and teach others the truth. But that is not now. And I think that Spirit wants you to know that the energy of Sirius, the divine female, the Mary Magdalene, has come. And this Atum and this Nu or Newt energy with the chalice is here. It's a divine mother. And the divine mother sees us going, oh, no. No. You guys are under Archon mind control. Get out, go become nothing, and rebirth as a butterfly and become powerful. In your future, I see you having like a church. You're going to be teaching. You're going to be showing people how to use the number 14 out of their hands and out of your hands. You have the number 5, so you are the epitome of the number 14. You also have the number 8 on your crown. This is about flesh and spirit being as one, the Adam and Eve as one. The phoenix is about death and rebirth. And so the phoenix comes into our lives as an awakening of our pineal gland, and the death is the cocoon, and the rebirth is also in the cocoon. When we come out of the cocoon, it's baby steps of learning until we finally begin to use our energy appropriately and divinely. Not using dark magic or Luciferian energy, using energy in a divine way by the divine order of God, which is the dog that is beside the egg around 5 o'clock. Your best friend sends you a birthday candle. On her neck, it says USA. Above her is an Irish coin, maybe having something to do with, she has a butterfly by Ireland. So maybe she rebirthed in Ireland, or her consciousness bounced to a place in Ireland. Your hand is outshining the reincarnation wheel and bringing forward the golden gate that releases the divine female out of a prison that is a fence. This is the wall that you are in front of. Release your divine feminine. Go through the golden gate. Heal through the heart chakra. And know that you are worthy of love. We've all been mind controlled into low self-worth and being codependents from the time we were born. It takes a lot of undoing to go back to what we were originally designed to do and to be. The young girl looking up at Oz and seeing the star of Sirius is giving these young girls hope that they are destined for great things, not for being body bags for archons to produce hybrid children, or to be raped and seduced by the false male. When we become connected to our true marriage, they are us. The male is the female is the male. Adam was Eve, Eve was Adam. There was no blame for Eve, Eve was Adam. There was no blame for Adam, Adam was Eve. There was no difference between the two, and that is a divine marriage. There is no difference. Your happiness is their happiness. Their sadness is your sadness. You share life and death, sadness and joy. And you cannot be separated. It's not possible. I will say congratulations that you are wearing a crown and that you are around 12 o'clock. You just are just a little distracted with some low self-worth, and you're being told by Divine Spirit that you have a lot of power, but you're misdirecting it. So turn around and be guided by that holy dove, your higher self, the divine order of God. Turn around, bright eyes. If I ever open up Hogwarts School of Christ consciousness or magic, which I intend on doing, you are one person I totally would want to master the magic of the number 14 within the hands, and knowing how to utilize your intention and your heart chakra and your third eye and the star energy and the swirling motion in order for people to create a heaven on earth, because the female is the only one that has the power to birth, and birthing a new reality is our bag, baby. That's what we know how to do, and that's what you're going to do as well. Thank you, Candy, for teaching us about the number 14 and the Princess Code, and about how to leave an old world and go into a new one. The power to create a new reality and to usher in heaven on earth, or to bounce to a better world. If you would like a reading, go to forestfairy.com. Turn around, Candy, and notice your best friend, the Holy Spirit, and energies that are leading you away from the Princess Code and away from your limited power. You're going to become very powerful soon. All you have to do is turn around.